This is my path, my journey. I'm willing to explain it all to you guys. No holding back anything. I just hope you're ready for the experience, and I just hope you can handle it.
But what I want to make this video about is kind of like a runoff of the last video I made, because the last video I made was about how the internet is like the physical manifestation of the collective consciousness. Now, I think that there are too many people that don't utilize it, don't utilize the internet. Now, there are so many people that just utilize the internet to complain about their life, or to try to get attention, or try to show off, or try to look a certain way through the internet, try to hold up an image instead of just consuming knowledge. Because the way I use the internet is similar to the way people use college. It's like I use it to learn. And it's, for example, 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago now, I was researching space. I was researching, planet Earth and stars, nebulas, galaxies. I was really into space. But then it's almost like I go through phases, because or I can call it's like I'm going through classes. And once I finish a certain class, or get a good percentage of whatever the knowledge of that certain class, then I move on to the next class, and I might go back to that class eventually, but I like to keep it moving. So, for example, I was researching space, then space led me to like researching the pineal gland and law of attraction, things like that, and that ended up leading me to psychedelics, DMT, Terence McKenna, and Terence McKenna led me to other philosophers, and it's just basically I would go from philosophy, different philosophers, psychedelics, different psychedelics. Like, it's almost like the main category of the class was, psychedelics, but then there's like little mini categories inside of it, which is the individual psychedelics and the different things that they do. But really, like, I'm making this video basically because I just feel like I utilize the internet a lot. I don't utilize it as, I'm going to start using social media more, because those are the parts of the internet that I really don't utilize that much, and I know I should, because social media could help me out drastically. And I guess this is social media technically. YouTube is technically a social media site, but I want to try to expand my things, so I'm going to be trying to do many different social media sites, including Minds.com, and a few others. But this is just what the internet is for, to create, to connect your ideas, to spread your ideas, to spread your thoughts, your mind, and to show who you are to the world. It's like we all have the opportunity to make videos. I think everybody, at this point in 2018, I think everybody should be making YouTube videos. Everybody should have a YouTube channel. Even if you only have one video on your YouTube channel, just make a YouTube channel. Pretty soon here, I'll also be on BitChute, which I think BitChute changed its name to Speak Out. But there's I really like the video aspect, which is why I've been searching for video social media sites. But I need to also go towards Instagram and Twitter, because a majority of people use Instagram and Twitter now. But basically, I think we should utilize the internet. We should utilize the social media, we should utilize the knowledge, we should do it all. What are we really doing but wasting time and bullshit and doing nothing and just nothing. We gotta start doing more, and this internet has so much shit for us to do and learn, and we can learn, and then we can go do in the world what we learned. And most people think that when they get out of high school, they're done learning, they're out of school. It's like, no, I didn't even start learning until I got out of high school. Like, in high school, I didn't even really pay attention. I was a bad kid. I think people underestimate the internet. I think people underestimate, the possibility of this. A lot of people think that if you don't have a college education, then you can't get educated. And that's completely wrong nowadays. Nowadays, you can learn everything that you would have learned in college on the internet. You can even take college classes on the internet. But besides all that, you can learn it all on your own without, the college class. The main reason why people, need college or need, internet college, or, the same reason why people need personal trainers is the same. It's because people lack motivation. It's because people lack the will to actually do. And with this internet, I think it's making it easier for us to do. But people don't use the internet, so it's still hard for them to do things, because internet basically allows it so I can sit here on my couch, record a video, and this is still being productive in a way. Like before, like 50, 60 years ago, this was not productive. There was no this. There was no being able to cut out the middleman, and if you wanted to get your message across, you had to find a way on TV, and that's really complicated. Find a way on the radio, and that's very complicated. Nowadays we have the internet, we have YouTube, we have SoundCloud if you're a musician, or SoundClick if you're a beat maker, or you have all these different platforms, and YouTube, and all these different platforms that we can stand on and we can build empires on top of. And these things will really help us evolve in our life, but if they're not being used, they can't help us. I think as time goes on, more people will obviously use the internet because they will see as well that this is just the future. And I see too many people are scared of technology, and of course it's very primitive, so it's very of course it was bound to happen that people are going to be scared of technology because it's a primitive instinct to be scared of the unknown. But we have to move past that. Accept the fact that there's that part of us that says we are the main things on planet Earth. It's our planet. It's all about us, and it's not. So that's why people get scared of artificial intelligence, scared that they're going to take over the world. And it's like, well, we might actually become the artificial intelligence because consciousness itself might be able to fit inside of technology. But that's another video for another time. But it all stems in, it's all about the same thing here. It's all technology, using the internet and utilizing it for your growth and your benefit. And there's so many things you can do on the internet now. You can start your own business. You can, make money on the internet. There's so many different, talk about, fucking President Trump talking about, I'm going to give jobs back, and, we need more jobs. No, we do not need more jobs. People need to wake up and realize this is the evolution of the world. We're in the 21st century. You don't need more factory jobs. We can have a fucking machine, an artificial intelligent robot do that shit. Now we have the internet, so I feel like people should use the internet. There are millions of fucking jobs inside of the internet now. So it's like, there are new jobs, basically. New jobs that have never been done before because the internet and computer wasn't in existence. It's all about just moving with it, going with the flow of the river. Because too many people are trying to go against the current. Like, no, I'm not going to use technology, and I'm not going to do that, and technology is bad, and it can do this, and it can do that, and that's not good for humanity. And it's like, they're going against the river. Obviously this is the way it's going, so this is the way it was supposed to be. Like, it's just, this is the way the universe planned things. It's supposed to be the flow of the universe. We're just flowing with it. It's like, now we're going against it because we're scared or whatever, and that's why people don't use technology as much as they should, I feel like. And we should benefit it because we use it for the wrong reasons. A lot of people do. And this internet thing is a complete college inside of your computer. It's right in your house, and you can use it every day. If you don't know something, you can research it. If you don't know anything about plant, like let's say you have a plant that you know nothing about that you want to start taking, you can literally research that plant. And don't just look things up on Facebook, or don't just, look up one video on YouTube and be like, yeah, I've researched it. No, watch 20 videos on YouTube. Read 2 to 4 freaking research papers that colleges have done, university research papers, because they're all available online. It's like, people don't realize that this shit's available online. They think it's the 1999 where they're like, yeah, don't believe everything on the internet. The internet could be wrong. Somebody just wrote that. And it's like, no, we have artificial intelligence running through the internet nowadays that fact check things. We have people that fact check things. We have scientists that release this shit. We have doctors and all these other people that release this knowledge into the internet. It's not just people like me and you, it's everybody in the fucking world. So I think that we need to utilize that and see that this is our time of growth. This is the evolutionary time. We're moving towards the time of technology. You know how you had dinosaurs were in a certain era, the like Jurassic era, and then there's all these other eras. Now we're in the technological era where we are going to completely be immersed in technology, and that's just the way it is. And it's okay that that's the way it is. We got to go with it, go with the flow, and use it to our benefit. Don't, because there's a way where you can get consumed by it, because people already are. Some people already just get consumed by the internet and then just scroll through Facebook feeds and scroll through other, social media site feeds instead of actually, I guess creating content. And when you post statuses on Facebook and shit, I guess you're still creating content. But there is a very thin line between, creating content and just complaining on Facebook or posting meaningless shit to just pass time and, whatever. We can actually create new art forms, because these things before, artists only had canvases and that was that. Now artists have technology, virtual reality canvases that you can create with a 3D completely fucking, it's just absolutely insane the way that we can do things nowadays. But we have to do these things and we have to use these things, because there's this saying that I used to say, it's either you use your brain or you lose your brain. You use something or you lose it. And it's like we're either going to use the internet or we're going to lose the ability to use it. And it's like, what I mean is, obviously we're not going to lose the internet. Obviously, we guess we could if, disaster struck. But at the same time, what I mean is, people start to just, there's some people that completely don't use the internet at all. And it's usually a certain age. There's usually a certain age of people that don't use the internet because they didn't really grow up with it. So they have a hard time evolving with it. But that's what I mean. We have to just don't get stagnant. Don't get stagnant and be like, okay, well, it's like the Amish, for example. They feel like the technology was good, when they were whatever. So it's funny that the Amish use a little technology, but they don't want to use any more technology than they have, because they feel like that was the perfect era. And I find that really strange. It's like, either use no technology at all, completely at all, or just keep evolving, because you're going to get put behind and stay behind. And it's like, you don't want to fall behind. You don't want to fall behind in this beautiful time of evolution, because while everyone else is evolving, you're just going to sit there and be the same, and then everyone else is evolving around you. And this is just the way it's going to go, the evolution. And sadly, what's going to happen, it's not going to be necessarily the strong survive, like the strongest, man survived. It's more like, nowadays it's going towards the most intellectual survive. It's literally starting to turn into an intellectual era. It used to be the guy with the bronze, with the big muscles and strong. That was the alpha male. Nowadays, the alpha male is becoming the smart guy, the little nerdy smart guy that knows how to do things. Look at, money went from being money to being created by a smart guy, and now those smart guys are going to end up running the currency of, cryptocurrency is going to be the main currency of the world. So they're going to end up running the currency of the world, because it's all built on smart people. It's that old saying that, that nerd in school that gets picked on, that guy's going to be your boss one day. And that shit's real as fuck. But that's real on many different levels nowadays, because it's not just the nerdy smart kid that's going to be your boss nowadays. Nowadays, with the internet, you can be your own boss. The kid that was bullied all day, that didn't even pay attention in school at all, he could become a boss. Anybody can become a boss. It's so easy with the internet. But if you don't use it, it's not easy for you, because the internet is a tool. And just like any other tool, it can be either used or it can be abused. Or it could be, you're not going to, you're not going to use a hammer to pound in a screw, because you're going to it's going to strip it, it's going to break, it's not going to stay because the screw has to be screwed in. It's just don't use the tool for wrong reasons. but people do, and you're going to, and that's okay though, because the internet is just, like I said in the last video, it's just a collective consciousness thing. It's all of the knowledge, and knowledge is just knowledge. It's not good or bad. It's not, knowledge is just knowledge, and it can be used or it can be wasted on nothing. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and yeah, use the internet. It's right here. It's available for us now. And there was thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years with people that didn't have the internet, that couldn't connect with anybody else, that was outside of their little tiny towns and little tiny areas. So now that we can connect with the world, we should use that connection to learn from each other and help each other out. And the internet can help us when a person can't help us. The internet can help us, but even the internet, is a person, because all the knowledge came from people. But thank you guys so much. If you want to subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. But till next time, peace.